ingbreaking.com.
In breaking that time.
Lesson 1.
Lesson
Introducing
1.
yourself.
Introducing yourself.
Future tense.
Future tense.
Questions and
Question
answers.
and answer.
Jane will be a Yank.
Jane will be a Yank.
Will Jane be British or American?
American. Jane will be American. She will be a Yank.
American. Jane will be a Yank. She will be American. Will she be an Australian?
No, she won't. She will be American. She will be a Yank.
No, she won't be an Australian. Jane will be a Yank. She will be an American. Who will be a Yank?
Jane. Jane will be a Yank. She will be American.
Jane. Jane will be a Yank. She will be an American. Jane will be sitting in the restaurant alone.
Jane will be sitting in the restaurant alone.
Will Jane be sitting with a friend?
No, she won't. She will be sitting in the restaurant alone.
No, she won't. Jane will be sitting in a restaurant alone. Who will Jane be sitting with?
She will be sitting in the restaurant alone.
She won't be sitting with anyone. Jane will be sitting in the restaurant alone. Will Jane be sitting in a hotel?
No, she won't. She will be sitting in the restaurant.
No, Jane will be sitting in the restaurant. She will have just arrived in Vietnam. She will walk to a restaurant.
She walk in the restaurant.
Will Jane have lived in Vietnam for 6 months?
No, she won't have live in Vietnam for 6 months. She will have
Jane won't have lived in Vietnam for 6 months. She will have just arrived in Vietnam. Will Jane walk to a restaurant?
Yes, she will walk to a restaurant.
Yes, Jane will walk to a restaurant. She will walk to a restaurant. Will Jane take a taxi to a museum?
No, she won't take a taxi to a museum. She will walk to a restaurant.
No, Jane won't take a taxi to a museum. She will walk to a restaurant. She will know no one in Vietnam, and she will be sitting by herself.
And she will sitting by herself.
Will Jane have many friends in Vietnam?
No, she wants to have many friends in Vietnam. She will know no one in Vietnam.
No, Jane won't have many friends in Vietnam. She will know no one in Vietnam. How many people will Jane know in Vietnam?
None. She will know no one in Vietnam.
None. She will know no one in Vietnam. Why will Jane be sitting alone?
Jane will be sitting alone because she will know no one in Vietnam.
She will be sitting alone because she will know no one in Vietnam. Jane will be feeling a little lonely because she will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam.
She will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam.
Why will Jane be feeling lonely?
Jane will be feeling lonely because she will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam.
Jane will be feeling lonely because she will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam. Will Jane be feeling lonely because she has no job?
She won't. She will feeling lonely because she will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam.
Jane will be feeling lonely because she will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam. Will Jane have many friends in Vietnam?
No, she want to have many friends in Vietnam.
No, she won't have many friends in Vietnam. She will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam. Quan will
Quang
walk
will
in, order
walk
his
in,
food,
order his
and sit
food
at the
and sit
table
at the table
next to Jane's.
James.
Will Quan sit outside the restaurant at a
No,
table?
she won't sit outside in the restaurant next to the table. She will walk in, order
No.
his.
Quan won't sit outside the restaurant at a table.
She
He will
will
sit at the table
sit-
next to Jane's.
She will sit at table next to James.
Will Quan walk out of the restaurant?
No, she wants out of the restaurant. She will walk in, order his food, and sit at the table
No.
next to
He won't
James.
walk out of the restaurant. He will walk in, order his food, and sit at the table next to Jane's. Where will Quan sit in the
At
restaurant?
the table next to James.
At the table next to Jane. He will sit at the table next to Jane's and begin a conversation with Jane. He will begin a conversation with Jane.
Wang will begin a conversation with
Fu
Jane.
will begin a conversation with Jane.
Wang will begin a conversation with Jane.
Quan will start a conversation with Jane. Quan will start talking to her. Will he finish a conversation with
no,
Jane?
Wang won't finish conversation with Jane. Wang
No,
will begin
Quan
a
won't finish his conversation with
Jane.
Jane. He will begin to talk to Jane. What will Quan begin with Jane?
A conversation. Wang will begin a
A conversation. Quan will begin a conversation with Jane. Quan will ask Jane questions to get to know her better.
When we'll ask Jane questions to get to know her
Will
better.
Quan ask Jane questions to hire her for a job?
No, Wang want to ask Jane question to hire her for a job. Wang ask Jane question to get to know
No,
her
Quan
better.
won't ask Jane questions to hire her for a job. Quan will ask Jane questions to get to know her better. Why will Quan ask Jane questions?
Wang ask Jane question to get to know her better.
Quan will ask Jane questions to get to know her better. Will Quan tell Jane a story to amuse Jane?
No, she won't. Jane tell Wang her story.
No, Quan won't tell Jane a story to
her
amuse Jane. Quan will ask Jane questions to get to know her better. Jane will tell Quan her story and why she is in Vietnam.
Will tell Wang her story and why she in Vietnam.
Will Jane refuse to talk to Quan?
No, Jane. No, she refuse to talk to Wang. Will
Jane won't refuse to
tell
talk to
Wang
Quan.
her story
Jane will tell
and
Quan her
why
story
she
and
in
why
Vietnam.
she is in Vietnam. What will Jane tell Quan?
Her story and why she in Vietnam.
Her story and why she's in Vietnam. Jane will tell Quan her story and why she is in Vietnam. Will Jane sing songs to Quan?
No, she won't sing song to Wang. Jane tell Wang her
No,
story and why she
she won't
in
sing
Vietnam.
songs to Quan. Jane will tell Quan her story and why she is in Vietnam.